I was thinking the same thing. Stay out of this, guys. Stop or I'll shoot. Some more. Boy, that's a nasty cold. Out of my way, barbecue breath. Didn't your mom teach you it's not polite to spit? You know, you're the spittin' image of that last guy I shot. Working late, boys? Oh, HR called. You're being downsized. File this under chest wound. Uh-oh. Looks like the whole Salivation Army. I got a 918 in progress. No, a 1028. Oh, you know, I don't think there's a code for this one. I need you up here, Rochi. It's those goons again from the diner. Only this time, they're giving out guns like it was malaria at Skeeter's pub. Give it up, Artie. You got nowhere to run. Let me take you in, Fleming. They can help with that drooling problem. Wipe that bile off your face and put your hands up, Fleming. You're making it worse, Artie. Nobody died at that diner. Well, not tonight. Holy... We got a bomb here, Rochi. Wonderful. You're actually going to hand that report in? Grubbs, the chief says you've got the bomb site photos. Are you done with them? Uh-oh. Does this mean everything you say or write has to rhyme? Sure, Grubbs. Anything to get those photos. Not right now, Grubbs. I've got other things to do. Okay, Grubbs. I'm ready to help you write your report now. Have you seen a doctor about this? Thanks for giving me the photos. I hope I helped with your report. How do you do that? Grubbs, do you know where my tape recorder is? Don't give up your day job. I've got to find those bomb site photos for Chigger. He's really getting under my skin. Those are the bomb site photos I finally got from Grubbs. Here's where that witness list goes. As soon as I find it. Rochi had this in his mini-fridge. Maybe that's where he keeps his cold case files. I don't know where this diagram is, but Chigger said something about Hex having it. The diagram's about as legible as a prescription, but I recognize that strange symbol from my old photograph. I just have no idea what it means. I've got to find my recorder so I can get the hominid statement. Now that I've found my recorder, I can record the hominid statement and post it here. Artie has to go. Yeah, thanks, buddy. That clue's going at the top of my list. Maybe I'll make some double calf nectar macchiato supreme with triple whip today. Nah, I think I'll just go with the usual. Stale grounds filtered through one of Rochi's socks. There we go. Bitter, foul-smelling, and boiling over. Just like Chief Chigger. This leftover donut is rock hard and slightly moldy. Just the way Rochi likes him. Let's see what's in this drawer. It's my old scrapbook. This is me, 5 years ago, growing up as an orphan on the streets of Troy. I did pretty well for a kid with no parents. This is how Rochi and I met. Wow, I was a real pest in those days. My instructor at the academy said I was her star pupa, but I never would have graduated if it hadn't been for Rochi. I'm not even sure who this is or where this picture was taken. But I hang on to it because it gives me a weird sense of déjà vu. I better hang on to these files. I'll be adding more to them as my investigation progresses. Aha! Here's my tape recorder. Now I can get that nutty hominid statement. I don't see that witness list anywhere on Rochi's desk. Maybe he's got it stashed somewhere. Do you have that witness list, Rochi? Chigger's gonna dissect us if we don't find it. You're sitting on it. Can you stand up for a second so I can get it? So... now do you remember where the witness list is? You've had your mid-morning donut. Did that jog your memory? Now do you remember where the witness list is? Why were you keeping that witness list in your mini-fridge? Do you happen to know where my tape recorder is? Unfortunately, the witness list isn't in Rochi's file cabinet. There's nothing in here but a bottle of... something. It's totally empty. Rochi's known for chewing on his own paperwork. Apparently, he's gone through his entire caseload. Ugh! It's a bottle of semi-dairy imitation-like coffee creamer product. The expiration date was 8 months ago, and there's something blue-green floating inside. Hex is so interested in his new weapon, he doesn't even realize that the mug he's drinking from is empty. I wonder what would happen if I actually gave Hex some coffee. Maybe I should refill Hex's mug. He's slurping air again. Hey, Hex, have you seen that bombing diagram? Hey, Hex, about that bombing diagram? Thanks for nothing. Hex, have you seen my tape recorder? Whoa, there's the bombing diagram. Right under Hex. I've got to get him out of his chair. Now's my chance. I don't see the bomb site photos anywhere on Grubbs' desk. Grubbs has the soul of a poet and the filing skills of a dust mite. Grubs, the chief says you've got the bomb site photos. Are you done with them? Uh-oh. Does this mean everything you say or write has to rhyme? Sure, Grubs. Anything to get those photos. Not right now, Grubs. I've got other things to do. Okay, Grubs. I'm ready to help you write your report now. Have you seen a doctor about this? Thanks for giving me the photos. I hope I helped with your report. How do you do that? Grubs, do you know where my tape recorder is? Don't give up your day job. Hang on, you crummy hominid. I'm gonna take your statement, but first, I have to find my recorder. Hold on, hominid. I'm gonna use my recorder to take your statement. Your statement was a big help. Nat. Chief, what am I supposed to do now? Have you seen my recorder? Where can I find those bomb site photos? Do you know where the witness list is? Who has the bombing diagram? So, how's the family? This leftover donut is rock hard and slightly moldy. Just the way Rochi likes them. Bitter, foul-smelling, and boiling over. Just like Chief Chigger. Rochi had this in his mini fridge. Maybe that's where he keeps his cold case files. Those are Grub's photos of the latest soda bomber bomb site. Just a huge crater and some shredded cans behind a convenience store. The diagram's about as legible as a prescription, but I recognize that strange symbol from my old photograph. I just have no idea what it means. Artie has to go. Yeah, thanks, buddy. That clue's going at the top of my list. My trusty old tape recorder. Where would I be without your low-fidelity sound reproduction capabilities? You are really losing it. It was in your filing cabinet? You're asking me? I'd better stop slacking? You're amazing. You can cut out the sneezing routine. I've already got your statement. Bingo. These go right here. I think that's the wrong place to put this. Excellent. I'll put this list right here. I don't think these belong there. They don't fit in there. That'll just ruin them. I'll never find them again. It won't fit in there. I'd better not soak this in coffee right now. I should put this elsewhere. I wouldn't put my best friend in that fetid incubator. I'd better not soak this in coffee right now. Oh no, I'm not going through that again. I've already done all the recording I need to do. That would ruin the recording, but it might improve the creamer. That will render it wet and useless, and keep it awake all night. This is too useful to put back. My desk only drinks Nectarola. The carafe doesn't fit in there. That'll burn out the pot. Rochi likes to keep his desk dry and mealy. Just what Rochi needs. Something else brewing in that file cabinet. Maybe I'm unclear on the concept. Hex won't appreciate that. I'll just pour this into Hex's mug and see what happens. I better give Hex a little more coffee. I think I'll give Hex some more coffee, just for fun. He's so easy. Voila! I'll post this statement right here where it belongs. That would be a waste of hot, lousy coffee. I can do something more useful with the creamer. That's not how I make coffee. I'll let people add creamer to taste. That'll short out the Framistat. Maybe I should just give it to Rochi. I just took it out of there. This would just stink up my desk. Grubs won't appreciate that. There's nothing to record here. It doesn't fit in there. That'll short out the Wiebelfetzer. But I just found it. I'm hanging on to it. I don't want to leave a greasy smear here. Dunking a donut on a coffee station. That's not going to add much flavor. I'm not dunking this donut because I wouldn't dare eat it. I don't want that thing infecting my desk. The donut isn't making much noise. Black! I don't think Hex wants this. Grubs probably wouldn't appreciate that. Posies, cozies, toesies, tough, fluff, buff, rubble, stubble, hubble, somewhere most, othermost, farthermost, shattering, flattering, scattering, arresting, digesting, infesting, dinky, stinky, kinky, verse, hearse, nurse. You're actually going to hand that report in? Perfect. This diagram goes right here. What are you doing? The socket-to-me internal combustion coffee maker. It'll go 0 to 10 pots in 2.4 minutes, if you keep it tuned up. Locust Gardens fried lice. I don't have the immunizations to be touching that. A lot of suggestions for preventing workplace fatalities. Most involve avoiding Rochi's coffee. This one's from Locust Gardens, thanking us for our patronage when they closed up 6 years back. And there's an accompanying warning notice from the health inspector. Uh-oh, more legal threats from recent detainees about Rochi's coffee. He must not be filtering the transmission fluid again. Not sure if these are a deterrent or an inspiration. It'd be a lot easier if the chief didn't require reports in octuplicate. My academy graduation. Why am I always so mesmerized by flashbulbs? The Complete Encyclopedia of Symbols, Icons, and Squiggly Marks, Volume 4. I've already read it 100 times. Rochi must have a 10-can-a-day habit. Pretty average for this town. I don't need that. The legend says my partner's the one who originally ordered these. We're still checking that with forensics. I don't have the immunizations to be touching that. Rochi's got a few old photos of Honey Quinby, chairman of the Nectarola Company. Not sure what that's all about, but it might explain where he got his soda habit. When that perp coughed this up last week, Rochi grabbed it. As evidence, I hope. Better leave this one for the coroner. Looks like the S key is broken. Rochi's the only one I know who writes with a lisp. The precinct's so beautiful this time of year when the molds start to change color. Yep, he's got a big butt. Almost as big as his heart. And he's put it on the line more than a few times for me. Silverfishberg and McMantis sat here. Until they ate that batch of Mushu fly pork. 6:19 p.m. That's when Chigger found out his transfer request was denied and he put a bullet in the clock. Remind me never to wear a watch. It says, I would not rule out the possibility of an inside accomplice in the egg napping. One of Rochi's old police reports, I guess. Hither was I beckoned to yon murdered corpse. Justice, it did scream to my soul. Why hast thou forsaken me? Yeah, Grabowski likes a bit of dramatic flair in his case files. Yep, this is where it all happens, where it all gets figured out. The elaborate calculations, the complex juxtapositions, and the strange combinations that make up our Chinese lunch orders. Only today Chigger made us put up some notes on the bombing case. It's some half-baked theories on the soda bomber case. I'm not opening those again. They're filled with Grubb's free verse detective poetry and various mafia haiku, plus a deep fat fryer I made Rochi take out of his car. I don't have the stomach for that much grease and alliteration. There once was a money launderer from Nantucket. I think I've read enough. Rhyme scheme investigation. And metaforensics? Okay. It's the Encyclopediae Armamentum. Hex's Weapons Bible. Not my first choice from Hex's arsenal. But paper cuts can be painful, too. Chigger thinks it's pretty convenient having the morgue right here, but I'm not a big fan. For heroism in the line of duty. I expected the previous tenants to come back for these, but they're ours now. Want some more coffee, Rochi? You don't have to be rude. Finally, now maybe we can split this cocoon and hit the streets. Whoa! The symbol! It's the same one! The rest just looks like soda cans with chicken scratches and arrows, but I'd recognize that symbol anywhere. I think I'll keep this to myself for now, since that symbol's also on the bombing diagram. It looks like some soda cans with a bunch of chicken scratches and arrows and... That symbol! Where'd I put my files? It's a photo of me as a kid with someone I don't recognize. Wish I could remember him. And that symbol. It's a photo of me as a kid with a guy standing behind me in a shadow. Wish I could remember him. And that symbol. I know, I have a mysterious past. It's a cliché I try to keep to myself. Man, I spend 5 years tracing that symbol and nothing. Then it just shows up in the middle of my latest case. What's it got to do with me? Better pull this picture and see what else I can find out. Think I'll keep this hidden from the squad while that matching symbol on the bombing diagram is floating around. Does this photo mean anything to you? Okay, Hominid, I'm recording. Let's have your statement. Where were you at the time of the bombing? Tell me more. Uh-oh. Looks like a toxic pollen leak in your hazmat jammies. Might want to talk so we can patch that before you swell up and explode. So, what were you doing downtown? Well, that answers that question. So, why did you run from the police? Okay. Artie, so that's your name. I thought you guys just did your business inside the hazmat suit, and I don't think I need to hear about it. Oh, stop it! At least I've got his statement. The labels read friendly acquisitions, hostile takeovers, crazy PR stunts, additives, preservatives, and Nectarola recombinant DNA and genetics laboratory. I guess they're diversifying. Nectarola. Thanks to our new proprietary additives and the repositioning of our products as carbonated lifestyle enhancers, we've quadrupled market share, resulting in the most profitable year in the company's history. And we're more than confident that our newest flavor will be an unprecedented success. There's just no resisting Nectarola. Looks like she's working on another memo. This one to the Pollen Fields facility about the upcoming harvest. It has, "Don't forget to call me honey," engraved on it. Funny how much she has to remind people. It's full of graphs, algorithms, and black magic, outlining how to make the new soda flavor a huge success, yet somehow not cannibalize sales from the other product, even though original Nectarola has a 98% market share. I think they call it a marketing plan. The top item is a proposal for capturing the remaining 2% market share from their last remaining competitor, water. They're marked extra set decorations. They've got industrial-strength wrinkle concealer written on the side. They say 32-ounce Big Drip IV beverage dispensers. They're all labeled costumes that made her look fat. One of the uniformed officers said this was for the big finish of the television event. Apparently, after the tap-dancing Bee-Bots introduce Quinby, the boom lifts her up to fly above the stage, where she's joined by 2 more Bee-Bots, assuming their ropes hold. Sounds very magical. I don't see anything unusual. What a mess. Did Busby have any enemies? Did anyone know he was going to be standing in for you? Do you have any enemies? What about current employees? Anyone who might benefit from a vacancy at the top? What about family members? So you're sure there's nobody from your past that might be holding a grudge? There's gotta be a motive here. Nobody tries to commit murder without a motive. Is there anyone who might want to stop the introduction of your new flavor? Manchurian cherry, huh? Yeah, no doubt. All right. If you think of anything, please give Rochi or me a call at the precinct. The coroner will be by shortly, I'm sure. You say you saw a shadowy figure on the catwalks? I'll be back to ask more questions later. What can you tell me about the accident? Did you see the person on the catwalks that Quinby claimed to have seen? Fair enough. I may need to ask you more questions. Can you command that Bee-Bot who keeps saying, "It's an explosion of cherry flavor"? Tell it to move to the right. Tell it to move to the left. Tell it to do a shuffle off to Buffalo. Tell it to take a bow. Never mind. I'll try this later. I need you to move that Bee-Bot for me. I'm not buying that this Bee-Bot just happened to fall right here, right then. By accident. I should find some way to open the hatch and back of this thing. But I'll probably end up thorax deep in busted bits of Bee-Bot. The way the rope on that sandbag is cut proves that this Bee-Bot's fall was no accident. After I'm done here, I'll have the boys from the allergen squad come and take this thing away. Even though that histamine seems to be a dud, I'm not taking any chances. Rochi, you just gonna stand there and gawk at Quinby? Big help. You got any advice for me? Okay. I think I found all the evidence there is to be found. Don't know him. Should we stop by the precinct with his evidence first? What did you see? There was an explosion? Where? I see. Yes, so I've heard. I guess your programming is rather limited. Can you move aside so I can get by? How'd I know you'd say that? Who controls you? Spare me. You know, no matter how many bodies I've had to scrape off of windshields, no matter how many fatal fly swatter accidents I've had to investigate, no matter how many moths I've taken to the burn unit, I never get any queasier. The big X on the floor is made of gaffer's tape. Then you'd be lying here dead instead of him. How do you feel about that? Quinby's executive chair is a little frightening. It looks like it was designed more for intimidating the minions than for ergonomics. And I should ask Chigger about installing a couple of staircases like these at the precinct. They'd really dress up the place. I should find a way to get up those stairs. If I want to go back up to the catwalks, I'll have to have the director move the Bee-Bot again. With the Bee-Bot out of the way, I can find out what's at the top of those stairs now. Those stairs lead back up to the catwalks. Lots of empty crates up here. What a mess. This box is locked and bolted down. Very odd. I should find a way to open it. Now that I've broken the paperclip off in the lock, even finding the key won't help me open this. There's gotta be another way. There's a knife in this box. Maybe whoever used it wanted to make sure he wasn't seen bringing it down to the main floor. This was the box that held the knife. There's nothing else in it. This is the box's lock. I've broken a paperclip off in this lock. It's trashed. Guess I don't have to worry about opening this lock anymore. These are hinges. Remember how I cleverly pushed the hinge pins out of this box with the paperclip? That was awesome. Remember how I cleverly pushed the hinge pins out of this? That's part of the set. Hung from the flies? That's part of the set. Hung from the flies. There's something glinting on it. The wingtip had to have fallen on this set piece from somebody up in the catwalks. Whatever I saw in this set piece must have fallen somewhere on the stage when I cut it down. This rope is what's holding up part of the set. So much for this rope. I wonder why someone would go to so much trouble to hide a knife. This deserves further examination. This wasn't here before. It must be the thing I saw on the top of the set piece. This sandbag was used to help counterweight the B-bot. I should take a look at this. This is a script for the big product introduction they were getting ready to put on. The victim never even had a chance to let go of it. Well, I guess he didn't hold on to life after all. But he clearly kept holding on to the script. Now's my chance. I don't need that key anymore. It's a dud histamine, but I'm not taking any chances. I'm leaving it right there. This knife has some imprints on it. My rough guess would be that these are the marks of a stick bug. This is the tip of someone's wing. Not too many flyers around anymore. It ought to be easy to narrow down the suspects. This rope was cut partway through, which means that somebody deliberately planned to have that B-bot fall. I don't see anything unusual about this script, but I can use this paperclip. At the precinct, Chigger charges us for each one we use. One of the best reads in years. I laughed, I cried, I found no incriminating evidence. Reminds me, I should finish my screenplay. I've looked through the script and I don't see anything unusual about it. Look what I can do! In my enthusiasm, I've impetuously rendered this paperclip useless as a paper clamping device. I broke the paperclip. Still, might be useful though. See? Even a broken, mangled paperclip has its uses. What an invention. I wonder what kind of bug came up with it. I wonder if these keys are the same from B-bot to B-bot. It's a photo of me as a kid with someone I don't recognize. I wish I could remember him. And that symbol. Do you recognize this knife? Does this knife look familiar to you? This isn't a switchblade. I don't suppose you recognize this knife, do you? I didn't think so. I can't seem to pry the hatch open with this knife. I guess it's not the right tool for the job. I'd better not disturb the B-bot. I'll have the allergen squad take it away, just in case that histamine is still live. What can you tell me about this knife, Rochi? Do you know anything about this knife? It is? I guess so. If you use it to pit cherries. I don't suppose this is your knife, is it? This wouldn't happen to be one of your wingtips, would it, ma'am? Yeah, you're a real hard luck story. Does this wingtip belong to you? I know this wingtip doesn't belong to this B-bot. What do you make of this wingtip, Rochi? What do you know about this wingtip? I wouldn't know. I'm not tasting it. He's not talking. Seen this before? You don't know how that happened, do you? Seems that way. Yes. Have you seen this? He's broken. He won't be giving me any useful information. Rochi, take a look at this sandbag. See this sandbag? What do you have to say about it? That's a matter of opinion. Do you need this script? Do you need Busby's script? I don't think B-bots can even read, let alone act. You need this? You liked it that much? He won't need this anymore. He's in that great hive in the sky now. This B-bot looks too far gone to be repaired with a paperclip. I can't open the hatch with this paperclip. I guess it's not the right tool for the job. I'd better not disturb the B-bot. I'll have the allergen squad take it away, just in case that histamine is still live. I don't suppose you need this. Calm down. It's just a paperclip. Sorry. This B-bot looks too far gone to be repaired with a paperclip. Let's see if this works. Oh my gadfly! It's a histamine! It must be a dud. Otherwise it would have gone off when the B-bot hit the ground. Even so, don't anyone touch it. When we're done here, I'll have the allergen squad come and take it away. This is an important piece of evidence. I just took this away from him. He wasn't using it anyway. This photo may help hold the key to my past. I probably shouldn't leave it lying around. That's original. It's a little late to ask him about anything. There's no reason to disturb the X mark. It's not important. I could rip up the chair's fabric with this knife, but I'd make Quinby very angry, and I need her cooperation to solve this case. Besides, I highly doubt there's anything of interest hidden inside. I can't think of a reason to put the knife there. They're already empty. There's no reason to cut them up. It's evidence. I'm not putting it back in the box. I've already opened the box. I can't reach the set piece from here. I've already done enough damage to the set piece. There's nobody standing beneath this set piece, and I need to see what that shiny object is, so bombs away. I don't want to damage the wingtip. I don't want to damage whatever that is. This is potential evidence. I shouldn't destroy it before I examine it. This sandbag and the rope are evidence. I'd better not mess with them. I don't need to use the knife on that. I'm not touching that. It's not liable to go off, but let's not take foolish chances. This is evidence. I'm not leaving it anywhere. There's no reason to put the wingtip there. I can't reach the set piece from here. I don't want the knife to damage the sandbag. There's no reason to do that with the sandbag. There's no point in putting the script there. Nothing here needs to be paperclipped. This paperclip is in no shape to pry open the lockbox. This paperclip is in no shape to pick a lock. This paperclip is in no shape to do anything to these hinges. I'm not going to re-clip this script now that I've gone to all the trouble of de-clipping it. Nothing here needs to be jabbed with an unbent paperclip. Trying to pry open this lockbox with a paperclip is like trying to pry open a safe with linguine. I've already opened the box. Maybe I can pick the lock with this paperclip. Eureka! I broke the paperclip off in the lock. Now there's no way to get that lock open. Maybe I can push out the hinge pins with the paperclip. Now that part of the paperclip's broken off in the lock, I couldn't even open this lock if I had the key. Maybe I can push out the hinge pins with the paperclip. Perfect. The turnkey doesn't fit into anything here. Even so, don't anyone touch it. When we're done here, I'll have the allergen squad come and take it away. This is an important piece of evidence. The turnkey doesn't fit into this lock at all. Think this is evidence? These are hinges. Wonder if I could push those out with something. I thought you said Quinby was over the hill 30 years back. How old is she? Sounds like Nectarola chairmen don't usually stay in power long. How do you want to proceed on this? You got any advice for me? I wonder what captains of industry have met here, what history-changing decisions were made here, what life-altering beverage flavors were dreamed up here. Looks like Quinby's got a helipad. No, I meant a place for her helicopter, down on the roof. Hard to see what a dirty town it is when you look down your nose at it from up here. Wow, from way up here, everyone on the sidewalk looks like a bunch of insects. Wait a minute. Better double-check the tape in this, but Big Mite said the cameras weren't rolling since it was rehearsal. The officer outside said this was for a chorus line of B-bots that descend carrying Quinby. Maybe it's just as well the performance was cut short. Might find some good prints on these cushions, or at least some spare change underneath. It's part of the snappy new Nectarola ad campaign. Considering they have a monopoly on all beverage sales in Troy, I'd say this is more of a vanity campaign than anything else. Snacks are great and everything, but I always find myself wishing the craft services table had some good macrame and beadwork items. Donuts. Was someone expecting the police? It's a cardboard cutout of a bee-bot, Honey Quinby's lovable sidekick, and the Nectarola mascot. I'm not a fan of your high wire act, McGillicuddy. I always enjoy a little slapstick. Man, it's like shooting a needle in a haystack. I just want to talk, fellas. Stop being so narrow-minded. I'm gonna snap you like a twig. What's with these exploding cans? Are these guys connected to the soda bomber? Never touch the stuff. You 2x4s had enough yet? Nailed 'em! So am I, and heavily armed. Slim chance of you getting out of here, Sticks. Don't run. That's a tall order. You sticking with that story? You'll have to give me some answers first. We're looking at you for the murder of Quinby's assistant. Okay, if that's the way you want it, I'm taking off. Not my problem. We can offer you protection. If you want my help, you'll have to talk. So why did we find one of your histamines at the murder scene? No? Then how do you explain this knife? These are a stickbug's claw prints. What about the histamine sticks? We know you run 'em. You sell any lately? Why were you running from us? Sounds like you're getting a mite reckless. Did you get his name? Don't get sarcastic with me, Sticks. You're the one standing on the histamine. Where's the money? So what'd he look like? Well, that doesn't give me any solid leads at all. Oh well, I'm taking off. Good luck getting off that mine. Wow, Sticks. Not the best place to keep those histamines. Take another step, and you'll blow up like a balloon at the Bugsgiving Day parade. All right, this is one of your mines, right? You know any way to defuse it? What were you going to say? Try taking one giant step to the left. I should. After what you tried doing to my partner, they're labeled insect appendages, nuggets, gizzard, and fillers. I wonder if that's food coming in or customers going out. Not sure if the water in Lice Harbor looks better or worse through that thick layer of grease. Not until I have all 3 forms filled. Fire ant red pepper sauce, Dijon nectar, granulated honey, low-fat pollen substitute, napkins, pepper, salt. Wait a minute. Looks like the waitress has been slacking on refilling her salt shake. Oh, right. I heard the waitress used to run a coat check from here. Well, more like a coat ransom, where she exchanged them for tips. Ugh, the stench is unbearable. But I can't go until I find Styx's buyer. Wait a minute. If I leave now, I could be walking away from the best meal of my life. Or the last meal, from the smell of it. The signature on this receipt from last night is identical to the signature on this contest form. And no other signatures match. So this is the only customer who's here tonight who was also here last night. That's it! Okay, but you haven't killed a whole lot of people in cold blood, have you? See? Nobody's coming in to get you. No, put down the gun. Okay, give me something to work with here. Don't do anything foolish. Just let the nice lady go. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I just don't want anyone to get hurt. Okay, let's all relax here. Don't get your antennae in a knot, right? Don't play the raw prawn with me, Artie. What? You mean giant mutant ants? Hello? Who's after you? But you haven't killed anyone in cold blood, have you? Have you? Why don't you just put the gun down? There must be something I can do. That's the thing about bad guys, Artie. They've all got a weak spot. I think I've found yours. You don't need a kidnapping rap. I know that's not how you do things, Artie. You're not out to hurt anyone. You're a businessman. Am I right? You were going to arrange another purchase. Unfortunately, your supplier is out of business. I'll compare these contest forms to last night's receipts and see if I can find any similarities. So, anything you want to tell me? If I want that form, I should just take it. Making one big stack of receipts and forms will make it harder to compare them. How can I help you? Clearly, I don't. We can go down to the precinct to discuss this if you want. Who are them? They? Do you know who this is, or anything about the symbol? Your appointment for tonight has been canceled. That's where you're wrong. Now listen, Artie. You tell me exactly who put you up to this, or I'll run you in faster than you can say, "It's an explosion of cherry flavor." We fingered Sticks. Not till you tell me what I want to hear. I'm not buying it. Shame if this dessert fell on the floor. It's a photo of me as a kid with someone I don't recognize. I wish I could remember him. And that symbol. Whoops! Your fingerprints were all over the histamine. You know, this death by maggot dessert you've been drooling over looks nice. Too bad if anything were to happen to it. The histamine was a dud. It didn't go off. One of your histamines was found at Nectarola headquarters yesterday. Here's a contest form for you. There's nothing next to these receipts. At least, not now. I wouldn't want anyone sitting on them. They won't fit in the cup. They won't do any good sitting on the counter. I want you to take a careful look at this picture. Sure. Yeah, it includes dessert. Here you are. You seem very sure. Do you recognize the man in this photo? Here's a contest form. See if you can guess the number of thrips in that jar. Does this picture ring any bells? So far, I've got 2 of these contest forms filled out. I'll look at them once I've got all 3. Here we go. A contest form for you. How many thrips are in that jar? See if you can guess. Wait a minute. Didn't I already give you one? Would you like a contest form? Oh, right. Only 1 entry per person. Sorry. 2 free dinners here. It's a contest. Try to guess the number of thrips in that jar. Here, Have a contest form. Sorry to bother you, sir, but I'd like to ask you a question. Do you know who this is? Would you mind telling me your name? Here's a contest form for you. A dung beetle brownie covered with a steaming, crawling pile of fresh live maggots with a rotten cherry on top. I can't eat something like this. It'd go right to my pollen basket. These are blank contest forms. No. I'd better hang on to the filled-out contest forms. When I have all three, I'll compare them to last night's receipts. 1 free dinner here. I'm pretty sure I did. Here's a contest form and a pencil. Let's see if you can win first prize in our Guess the Number of Thrips in the Jar contest. Free dinner. Here. Were any of the customers here right now also here last night? Free dinner. Here. Sorry. No, that's not allowed. No. Here you go. A contest form. Now, try to guess the number of thrips in that jar. I've only got 1 contest form filled out. I'll look at them once I've got all 3. I'm sure these'll come in handy. Here's a contest form. See if you can guess the number of thrips in that jar. I see you finished your contest form. You have that form yet? But I wanted to ask if, by any chance, you were here last night. Not quite yet. I'll get back to you. So tell me. What? So you won't tell me where you were last night? I know, and I hate to disturb you. Your sick aunt, huh? Okay, I was just asking. Sorry for disturbing you. Nice. And where was this? I'd like to ask you a few questions. Looks like this guy's eating a double order of French fried cicadas, topped with creamery butterfly. This guy's eating what we used to call at the academy SOS, scorpion on a shingle. At least he's got a side of wasabi. Have you filled out that contest form yet? So you've got your form filled out. Thanks for entering the contest, sir. Good luck. So if you weren't here last night, where were you? Do you recognize any of these guys? I may have some more questions for you later. Thanks for your help, sir. Don't panic, Millie. We'll get you out of this. Try to relax, Millie. Deep breaths. It's a contest form. You're supposed to guess how many thrips they have in that big jar. Maybe I can do something with these. I don't suppose the cook would recognize anyone who'd been here last night, would he? This guy's eating a salad with the louse dressing. I guess he's saving room for that big, rich dessert he's got waiting for him. Death by maggot. Thank you. Actually, I don't have any questions for you. I'm just killing time until all your customers fill out their contest slips. I think I know which one of your customers was here last night. It's the spit bug with the death by maggot dessert. This place ever get crowded? I'll do my best. She's not here by any chance, is she? There are some receipts laid out on this table, and I've put the contest forms beside them so I can compare the signatures. Good. This guy's filled out his contest form. An unpleasant-looking customer is eating in this booth. No offense taken. Perfect. This guy's got his contest form ready. I don't need to look at these receipts and contest forms anymore. I already know that the guy with that death by maggot dessert was here last night. He must be the Styx's connection. When you walk into a restaurant, there's nothing to sharpen your appetite like a huge container of hungry, crowded thrips wallowing in their own thrip sweat. I've got all 3 contest forms filled out. I should put them next to those receipts from last night so I can compare the handwriting. 2 number 2 pencils. I guess that's the same as 1 number 4 pencil. Great. This customer's got his contest form filled out. I've got 1 blank contest form left. Say, you wouldn't by any chance have last night's receipts, would you? 60 questions? Who was here last night? Pardon me. Can I ask you a question? Okay. Excuse me, sir. I'd like to ask you a few questions. Bye. I'll tell you what. I'll be right back. I've got 1 pencil left. Who have I missed giving a pencil to? Do you know who this is? I'd better not set these down there. An unpleasant-looking customer is eating in this booth. He's clearly finished filling out his contest form. They'll get greasy and disgusting. Why put those in the cash register? I can use them. I've taken them. Now I just have to figure out what to do with them. I wouldn't want anyone sitting on them. I'm not opening that thing up. Why put those in the cash register? I can use them. There's no point in putting blank contest forms there. They won't do any good sitting on the counter. All right, Artie. You and I are gonna have a little talk. Here you go. Are you sure you weren't here last night? You're a real comedian, aren't you? So you weren't here last night, Mr. So do you come here often? Mind telling me your name? Almost done with that form. So, what'd you guess for the contest? Nice to meet you. I really don't need any insurance. Termite damage? That's okay, thanks. I just wanted to ask. No, I just wanted to ask if you'd been here last night. This photo may help hold the key to my past. Well, I probably shouldn't leave it lying around. That's not the right thing to do with these pencils. 3 number 2 pencils. I guess that's the same as 1 number 6 pencil. I'm Detective Chrys Liszt, and we can do this the easy way or the hard way. I don't need to write anything on these receipts. There are some receipts laid out on the table in this empty booth. So your name's Bob Weevil, right? Artie. You think I just fell off a turnip? I know who you are, and I know what business you're in. It's a bin of, ingredients for dung beetle surprise, and barrels of pickled termites. I wonder if he's got a permit for this thing. Jar of thrips. Honey mustard flavor, pre-digested fly meal, freeze-dried mosquito pops. Must be where they keep all the good stuff. That patty meltdown is older than I am. I think they leave it out to make the rest of the food look fresh in comparison. Judging by the dust, these haven't been touched in years. It's Rochi's private booth in the back. Locked. I better not. Hey, it's one of those old-fashioned Nectarola fountain dispensers. Boy, you sure don't see those anymore. Ever since they cut that deal to deliver Nectarola from the tap. I've got my man. Styx's connection must be this guy. The spit bug with the death by maggot dessert. I think these are just for show. I've seen the waitress scrape the food and reuse the same 3 plates every time I'm here. Oh, how decadent. Bile-frosted death by maggot. And it's still writhing. Probably filled with frozen Nectarola cubes. There's just no escaping the stuff. Ironically, one of their former slogans. Wait a minute. Those aren't orders. They're love notes from the waitress. Ew. I guess that's not against the law. Although, it could be another reason why so many customers get ill. Looks like they actually do most of their cooking in these things. I guess it lets them heat the food before the smell can reach the customer. I don't think anything can fully remove the stench. But the hood exhaust did a pretty good job competing with the bay for turning my stomach on the way in. Not much cooking now. The chef probably stepped out for some air, which is highly advisable with these fumes. Rochi, I got a hostage situation here. The guy's earwigging out and thinks they're coming to get him. Does the name Artie Fleming ring a bell? By the way the waitress is wiping down this counter, the house special here must be poached salmonella in a tepid broth of fungus. I won't get anything done sitting and spinning on these things. I bet this register has little of value in it, and it looks abused and badly battered. Kinda like the food around here, I'm sure. Where did you say those receipts were? Bile-frosted death by maggot. I'm actually not here to eat. Nah, I'm just here to have a look around. Neutralize this, buddy. Why not try implementing surrender plan on my command? I call that my SWAT team. All right, Artie, this is where you and me tango. Or maybe I tango and you just go. Gnats. Aw, gnats! The main lever's missing. Rochi, did you see that? It's those guys from my dreams. No, I mean, I've seen them before. Never mind. Right. You want fries with that too, Rochi? Aw, gnats! The main lever's missing. You're hanging by a thread, pal. What's under the hood of that thing? Where's my can opener? Take that, Rusty. Is that all you got? What kind of mileage do you get in that thing? Looks like you guys got a few screws loose. Stay out of my way! Hey, it's a lot easier when I'm not running in slow-mo like in my nightmares. Stay away from my perp. You're interfering with police business. Nothing like a little kick the can. Gotta come back, Artie. You stiffed the waitress again. Stop with the soda speak and turn yourself in already. I believe you, Artie, so just slow down already. Where'd you go, Fleming? I got another dessert here for ya. Okay, I'm sorry about tossing around your death by maggots. Friends? Oh, except friends don't let friends take hostages, so I am gonna have to arrest you. Amber's a good color on you. Hold on, I'm getting the trolley going again, Rochi. Nectar blaster ammo. Great, a histamine. More mold spore canisters. Yes, nectar cannon cartridges. Amberizer ammo. Styx dropped his nectar blaster. Now why would someone leave a perfectly good mold spore launcher lying around? Uh-oh, I wonder if I should take this nectar cannon to the lost and found. An amberizer. Handy. Uh-oh, looks like the Robobug stole a spider crane from the pier. Of course, I think I would remember it having machine guns. Little help, Rochi. I'm up on the wires above the square. I can't get rid of this thing. Something big's going down here, Roach. What are these guys up to? One of those robos has the gate lever, but I can't tell which one. Hijacker scattered, Roachy, but now I got one zipping up the video screen building. He's got something under his arm. I'm up on the wires, Roach. I hate working without a net. You guys here with the tour? You should have caught a show instead. What's with hijacking a Nectarola truck? You were right, partner. Looks like the Robobugs are the mysterious soda bomber, but who are they? You were right, partner. We got us a bomb. Much bigger, though, and not the same hardware as the soda bombs. Copycat case? Unrelated? What were they trying to do? Man, those wires are hot. How am I going to get across there? Come on, you can't hit me. Hey, you're not so tough. Look at me! Over here! Just try that again, ugly. Your mother was a forklift. Hey, I've seen straighter shooting from Mayor Bloombug. If I knew you'd miss me this much, I'd have called more. What, they don't make glasses that big? Let me help you out. I'm the one over here, without the bullet holes in me. Come on! You can't hit me! Ah!